Now, you're going to hear from the diocese. I'm sure you're all going to call them or talk to their PR person. And what are you going to hear? You're going to hear that they're sorry. They feel badly for the victims. They apologize for what's happened to them. And oh, by the way, we now have a victims' compensation fund, an independent compensation fund. And we encourage victims to come to our fund, and we'll take care of them. They don't need to go to lawyers. They don't need protracted lawsuits. We'll be good to them. We'll take care of them out of our fund. Let me tell you about this fund. This fund was established when they knew that the statute of limitations was about to change, when they knew that they were going to be exposed to lawsuits and multi-millions of dollars in damages. So they set up these funds. And in fact, there's nothing independent about the funds. Ken Feinberg is the administrator of the fund. Good man. He did the 9/11 fund. He did the BP fund. But he still works and gets paid for by 7 of the dioceses that are participating. And we've had 2 of our clients that went through that fund who are now part of these lawsuits, because what happened when they went to the fund is they got offers of what I would consider an insult. Pennies on the dollars of what the value of the loss of their lives as normal people growing up means. So that's what you're going to hear from them. A convenient apology. A convenient call to victims to come to a fund where they can get bought out for cheap and lured in. And I hope they don't take the bait. And with that, I'd like for Luther, he's going to say a few words, and that's going to be it. The other folks on the dais here are not comfortable speaking, but Luther's going to speak for them and on behalf of the victims. I mean Eddie. I'm sorry, Eddie. I'm sorry, Eddie. I meant Eddie.
Well, he's black.
Come on. Eddie, come on up here.
Up here?
Yeah.
Eddie, can we have you state your first and last name and spell it for us as well, please?
Edward.
Step in front of the microphone.
Yeah, come up
please,
here.
Eddie. Thank you.
Okay. Spell my name?
Yes.
Edward, Edward. Ortega, Ortega.
Thank you.
It's all yours.
Okay.
And can you just express to us, what you're feeling emotionally at this moment?
Mixed. It's reminding me of a lot, but it's great to be here, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm here for all of the victims that were destroyed, that they'll never get back what was taken from them. It's a privilege, and I thank Mr. Zalkin, and I thank everyone else who has made this possible, because we certainly deserve it. Because when something like that happens, something inside of you dies, and you don't get it back.
And Eddie, as difficult as this may be for you to recap, would you be willing to share what happened?
No, I'm willing, happy to. I was a youngster at St. Jude's Catholic school here in San Diego, and the pastor of the school molested me 3 different times, from the age of 11 approximately to 13, and the molestations were brutal. They were violent. Everything you could possibly think of a rape happened to me by this man, Father Sheridan Gregory. And his cage that he would pull you into was the rectory where he lived, there on campus at St. Jude's. And he would go about doing what he had to do out of fear. He would instill fear in you. And then he would pretend as if he were your friend. And then he would go to work. I told Luther, he was like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I mean, he could be the nicest man in the world, which is the most dangerous thing, because inside of him were demons. And he was something else. And my abuse happened violently. It was so violent that he made me bleed in different places of my body. And soon after that. This happened for a span of about 3 years. And then what he did to me was he expelled me to get rid of any evidence. Out of St. Jude's, he threw me out. And it was like, it was incredible. In other words, while this was happening, I couldn't comprehend. All I knew was what I was feeling. And what I was feeling was complete confusion. I felt like I was a bad person. I felt like I was a bad student. I felt like I wasn't worthy. And he took advantage of me. He did everything possible that you could do to a child or to anyone as far as sexual abuse is concerned.